Hey, if you've been feeling heavy lately, like something inside you just doesn't fit anymore, not quite broken, but not whole either, you're not alone.
Yeah, maybe it feels like parts of you are falling apart. Old thoughts, beliefs, relationships, like they just don't hold the same shape anymore.
But what if I told you this isn't a breakdown? It's a return. You're not broken. You're remembering.
Remembering what, though? Who we were before the pressure? Before we started shaping ourselves to survive?
Exactly. This episode isn't about fixing anything. It's about uncovering. We're going to walk through 6 truths that reveal why your pain, your confusion, even your silence might be signs that something ancient in you is waking back up.
And listen, truth number 3 is the heart of it all. It's the key. Without it, the rest are just scattered puzzle pieces.
So stay with us. By the end of this episode, you might just feel something shift. Not because you became something new, but because you remembered who you've been all along.
And if any part of this speaks to you, go ahead and subscribe. We're not here to preach answers. We're just here to walk with the questions.
Let's begin with the first illusion, the idea that you're broken.
All right, let's talk about the weight no one wants to name. That quiet, heavy thought that creeps in at night. Something's wrong with me.
We've all felt it. That ache beneath the smile, the way you hold it together in front of everyone. But inside you wonder if maybe you're just broken. Too sensitive, too tired, too much, too lost.
And then the world confirms it, right? Labels, algorithms, self-help checklists. You start to believe you need to be fixed, rewritten, redesigned. Like who you are isn't enough.
But what if that belief that you're broken isn't actually yours?
You mean, like, it was planted there?
Yeah. From the first time someone said, "Be quiet," or "Stop crying," or "Don't be weird." From the first time you felt unseen in your own truth, a crack forms. Not in your soul, but in your trust.
So maybe we never were broken. Maybe we just lost touch with something whole, something buried under expectations and survival mode.
Exactly. Because when a tree forgets it's a tree and tries to be a machine, it doesn't break, it withers, and it hurts.
So the pain, maybe it's not the wound. Maybe it's the signal, the call.
That's it. The ache you feel isn't failure. It's memory, trying to return.
And that takes us to truth number 2, the soul's amnesia and what we lose when we forget who we are.
Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you came in? It's frustrating, right? That sense of, I knew something, and now it's gone.
Yeah, like your body got there before your mind, and you stand there blinking like, wait, what was I looking for?
Now imagine that, but with your soul.
That hits deeper.
Because somewhere along the way, between childhood and identity, between survival and routine, you forgot something ancient, something that was never taught because it was always there.
Like we were born knowing it, not as information, but as a kind of quiet wisdom. Like how babies don't learn to trust, they just are trust.
Exactly. Before language, before shame, before we were told who to be, we were.
But then life happened. Parents, schools, systems, and slowly, layer by layer, we forget. Not just facts, but feelings. The feeling of being held by life.
And so we grow, but with this invisible ache, a homesickness for a place we can't name, a longing for something we didn't even know we lost.
That's the soul's amnesia.
But here's the beautiful part. If we can forget, we can remember. And sometimes it doesn't take much.
Which brings us to truth number 3, the core. The moment everything begins to shift. The moment of remembering.
It doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it's just a pause, a strange stillness in the middle of an ordinary moment, like the sound of birds hitting you different, or a tear you didn't expect and can't explain.
Yeah, like your body remembers something your mind forgot. And for a second, you feel like yourself, but in a way you haven't felt in years.
That's not imagination. That's remembering, and it's sacred.
It can be triggered by anything. A dream, a scent, a quiet look from someone who really sees you. And suddenly, it's like something inside whispers, I remember who I was before I had to pretend.
And the most beautiful part, you don't have to understand it. The mind tries to label, but the soul just feels.
And it's not about becoming someone new. It's about returning to the you that was buried beneath survival.
That's why this truth is the turning point. Because once you taste that moment, you can't unfeel it. Even if it fades, something in you has shifted. Something is now awake.
And remembering doesn't just bring peace. It brings questions, discomfort. Because when you remember who you are, you start to see all the ways you've been living like someone else.
Which brings us to truth number 4, the strange signs that tell you you're remembering.
So, how do you know it's happening? How do you know you're remembering and not just falling apart?
Yeah, that's the trick, isn't it? Because remembering doesn't always look peaceful. Sometimes it looks like chaos. Sometimes it looks like grief.
Like crying during a movie and not knowing why. Or feeling disconnected from the people you used to laugh with. Like your whole inner world is shifting and you can't explain it to anyone.
Exactly. The signs are subtle, but unmistakable. You start questioning everything you used to accept. Things that once felt normal now feel noisy. And silence starts to feel like home.
You might crave more nature, or start seeing numbers, symbols, synchronicities. You might be drawn to certain books, dreams, even strangers. It's like something ancient is guiding you, softly pulling you inward.
And here's one of the biggest signs. You start feeling everything more deeply. The joy, the sadness, the in-between. Because the numbness is melting. And what's left is you.
But here's the catch. As beautiful as remembering is, it can hurt. Which leads us straight into truth number 5. Why remembering aches before it heals.
Let's not romanticize it. Remembering isn't always soft. Sometimes it's raw. Sometimes it cracks you open in places you didn't even know existed.
Yeah. Because when you start to remember who you really are, you also start to remember everything that tried to make you forget. And that can hurt.
Old wounds surface. You start hearing the echoes of past versions of yourself, the ones who felt abandoned, ignored, silenced. And suddenly, you're not just feeling your own pain. You're feeling the space where you abandoned yourself just to survive.
And sometimes it feels like regression. Like, why am I crying again? Why am I anxious again? But the truth is, you're not falling apart. You're falling through the layers to get to what's real.
Healing doesn't feel like light at first. It feels like dust, memory, shadows long buried. But only what surfaces can be released.
So the discomfort, it's not failure. It's the fire that clears the forest. It's sacred.
And you don't have to rush it. You don't have to perform it. You just have to stay, breathe, let it rise, let it pass.
Because right on the other side of that ache is the truth that was waiting for you all along.
Which brings us to truth number 6, the final remembrance. You were never broken. You were always whole. Let's say it out loud. Just once. Maybe for the first time in your life. I was never broken.
Even if you believed it for years, even if others told you otherwise, you were whole. Even in the mess, even in the silence, even in the forgetting.
Wholeness isn't perfection. It's presence. It's being with yourself in the light and the dark, in the questions and the clarity, without needing to escape either.
It's like a mirror covered in dust. You thought the mirror was cracked, but it just needed to be wiped clean. Your reflection was always intact.
And that reflection, it's not who you were told to be. It's not a role. It's not a brand. It's not a diagnosis. It's your essence. Still breathing, still shining, still here.
So, no, you're not broken. You're remembering. And each breath, each tear, each moment of courage is part of the return.
And if this episode stirred something in you, a memory, a longing, a sense of home, drop a single word in the comments. Whatever this brought up for you.
It could be grief, or hope, truth, softness, clarity. Whatever it is, share it. Let that be your mark of remembrance.
And now 2 other episodes are waiting on your screen. Each one continues the journey inward.
Pick the one your heart leans toward and keep walking.
Because the path to wholeness isn't about becoming. It's about remembering.